Alright guys, so Maytag dryer, Whirlpool made. As you can see, the element is on the moment you turn the timer on time dry. It heats. We're just checking it on air fluff, and as you see, no heat. Okay. Now, note the dryer's not running, and what this is going to do is going to cause your thermal fuse to trip because the temperature is way too hot. Again, we put it on time dry. Take a look. Element is on. So even if the dryer could maintain that temperature, it wouldn't. It's a safety thing. That's why, guys, it is so crucial that you don't bypass any components, any on the dryer. They're there for a reason. Let them be. Let them do their job. So what we're dealing with, if you're experiencing that with your dryer, you're dealing with a element that is grounded. So I'm going to show you how you can save the element. Now, a few things that would cause that, and usually a clog vent, low airflow, which is usually a clog vent. So on your house, you want to make sure that the venting is not clogged. So as you see, I was checking for continuity on the body of the element in the machine and one of the pins on the element, and it was grounded. So the element itself is not bad. Sorry about the angle here. So I'm examining the element, looking at the housing. Now the housing on this one has a slight bulge, an outward bulge, which means when you put the element back on the dryer housing, it is now touching the element housing on the body of the dryer. So now those element wires are actually coming in contact with the dryer and turning them on the element. That's basically what's going on. So now I'm checking the housing element and nothing is shorted. So you don't have anything causing the short other than the element housing has basically bowed out too much from lack of airflow and too hot of basically heat cycle on those elements. And what it does, it causes the metal to stress. So now I'm pushing in or pushing down. Don't go crazy. Now, so you're pushing down. You can use a flat blade screwdriver. Don't hit the element wires because you will destroy, and then you have to actually replace the element itself. So just be mindful, pay attention. Push down, you might need a small, I wouldn't use any hammer. It's too much vibration. So you want to just use pressure and push. And keep in mind, if you can't do that or you don't feel comfortable, then replace the element. That is the fix. Now, if you're going to get an element, get an OEM. That's the best ones. The housing is a lot stronger and it will sustain and maintain the heat cycle. You won't have any issues or anything. Now, if you go ahead and get a cheap knockoff, then you might be, 2 months in and you're going to end up replacing the element anyways. So when the element is grounded, now a couple ways it can ground. Either something could have fallen in between the element, like a screw, or the porcelain, which holds the element string or wires to the body of the element. Sometimes they snap, and then you have the element hitting the metal, and then you have a grounded element. So when that happens, you end up with a thermal fuse, which is that guy, the white one to the left, and he will trip, and he will basically cuts circulation or cut the circuit. So when the circuit is no longer open, the dryer will not start. Okay? So machine doesn't start, you don't have a fire, it's a safety thing. So we're going to be replacing that. And that is the vent opening where that thermal fuse sits. And when the temperature gets too hot, then it trips that. So do not bypass any of those. Now we're checking again just to make sure that we're not grounded. Oh, really? You just crank? Instant, really? That's cool. Yeah, mine's only like 4 seconds. So. That's your thermal high limit cutoff. That has to have continuity. Now you can always replace all of the fuses if you're not sure, but you can just check them. Now what we're going to do here, I am attaching a lead to the thermostat and also one to the element. On the top of that thermostat, and what we're checking here, so you want to make sure that your thermostat is cycling, that high limit or the high temperature thermostat. The one that's on the element, it does cycle on and off. So you want to make sure it's doing its job. If it does not, you're going to end up with a high limit thermal cutoff up top, and your dryer will work for one cycle. And after that, you'll have to open the dryer again and go back in it. So you can use this as an extra test. So we're going to be checking it now. And you should get 240 volts to your meter. Use alligator clips. Do not touch them. The machine is live. 240 volts is more than enough to kill you. Yes, it can. Don't touch the dryer. Be careful. If you're not comfortable doing that, do not do it. Just replace the element and all the thermostat, and you're good. But this is just to show you, or if you're a technician, you know how to check these things. Now, as the element is flowing and running, I'm going to be covering up the vent slowly, and that's going to increase the air temperature inside the housing, and that's going to cause the thermostat to cycle faster. Now, as it cycles, it's going to cut circuit. It's going to cut the temperature. Well, it's going to cut the electricity. And you'll see on the meter, it will go to 0. So it's still red hot. Or is that orange? All right, as you can see, element is off, and that's how you maintain your temperature in your dryer. The element does not stay on all the time, and shortly you'll see power when it comes back. So it's all about cycling on and off. All right, guys, so you can see element should be getting orange and glowing again. And that's how you fix and also check all those components. So we're turning off and we're going to be buttoning up. And make sure you unplug when you're putting on the cover. Don't take chances. And always double check all your connections before you button up. Make sure nothing is touching the body of the machine. You do not want to have a short. You have a short and it's going to destroy or blow a fuse. Also, guys, on these covers on the back of the dryer, when you put them on, you do have a slot at the bottom, and the panel actually fits on perfectly. So once you set it in, you should be able to just put one screw in the center and all your screws should pretty much line up. If all is well, you should not have a problem getting that thing lined up. So we're plugging in now. We're pretty much done. That vent was a pain in the butt to put on, but I got it. So we're going to be doing another check. Same as we did. Pressing the door switch. Machine is on heat. As you can see, no heat, which is what you want. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. Gotta get in there. Keep saying I'm going to.